Hello, everybody. Today we're on What If the World Restarted, episode 22. Can't believe it already. But yes, we are on episode 22. So, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and yes, let's get started. Okay, this is our map. Last episode, we saw European countries expand their colonies across the world. We now have Spain with colonies in North America. Wait a second. In North America, here. South America expanded. Um, Central Africa and southern Madagascar. We also see England expand their colony over here. France have colonies now in Argentina, Patagonia, and in Gabon. Poland now has a huge colony in South Africa and Madagascar. And Italy is a bigger colony over here. So, yeah, let's get right into it. First event we have happening here is the populist right country having a civil war. I know they were populist and everything, but not everybody was, of course, a far right person. And yeah, there's been some fragmentation in the leadership, and people have been getting influenced by a pro democratic government in the south. So yeah, we're going to have almost a second Chinese civil war over here. So it's going to start on the border of the democratic country. How interesting. So you have democratic rebels start to appear now, appearing on the south of the country, moving along the border, gaining a lot of traction, and even having a few other groups across the country start to pop up, moving towards the major cities across the country. And we have another group forming up here who want independence from the country, from the populist country. And they advance pretty quickly, as this area was not expected to have this rebellion, and they lose their access to this important sea. I don't know what, I forgot what it's called, but it's a sea. So, and the populist country is struggling here. The democratic rebels close in on these two major cities. This one over here, the battle begins, but most of the forces are heading towards this one. This can be seen here, as this little spearhead is going towards both of it. And they move to quickly cut it off from the south and capture the city, connecting up with the border. And soon enough, they have this entire southern frontier to themselves. We see the Central Asian mega country joining the war as well on their own side for mere land gains. But we have a very interesting event happening, as this is also the start of their civil war. They've had growing instability because, I mean, like, they're the size of, like, what the Mongol Empire was, a huge, I mean, obviously not China, but they have Siberia and more into the Middle East. But yeah, so it's a huge country. They're having a lot of internal issues because there's loads of different peoples in here, and they want independence. So yeah, over time it's going to spill over, and this war is the perfect excuse. So massive infighting and is occurring in the country, with our first group starting to break away here in the Caucasus, roughly this region. And they also have rebels on the other side, and they both connect up here and are able to capture all the land north of the Caucasus Mountains, but can't advance much further than that. However, they do start moving northwards, as instead we have a Persian rebellion occurring right here, capturing the south coast, moving up here, capturing this major city as well. And it's looking like it's not looking too good for them, as this part of their land has been cut off. Greece immediately sees this and decides this is our opportunity to get some more land back. So they also join the war and immediately begin sending their troops into Levant, the northern Levant region, and Turkey. This goes pretty well, and before you know it, they have complete control of the eastern Mediterranean, and their territory has been connected up again. So, yeah. Capturing major city after major city, and a continuous advance is occurring here. Until we also have a Mesopotamian rebellion occurring in here, and they are able to capture this entire region here in the center of the country. Nice large country here. They also move into Azerbaijan and try and take the rest of this land, which they do successfully. Fantastic. Greece is happy with this, so they don't even have a peace treaty, and they just simply take the land. Awesome. There you go. Lovely. Nice little expansion for the Greeks just there. And we're going to have another group popping up here on this little, I don't know what to call this bit, but it's just in this section of land here. And the Central Asian country is struggling because quite a lot of their forces are over here. So they're having to pull forces out, allowing the populous country to immediately fight back and move back and take this territory back as well. And they even start an offensive into the Central Asian country, which is stupid because you should be fighting the Democrats underneath you. So yeah, 2 major civil wars at the moment. And we even have a third group popping up in here between these 2 lakes. They're advancing pretty quickly on all sides. And now another group pops up in modern day Turkmenistan. And from here, I think we know what's going to happen. Central Asia is unable to respond. I know they're the strongest country in the world, and you might always say, like, oh, why do these countries collapse so easily? Well, if you're having this many groups pop up out of your country, there's obviously some kind of instability, yeah? So, and they can't respond to that. They're just incapable of fighting because they're huge. Even with all this lost land, they're still the largest country in the world. No, they're not. England is, but they're the largest country with no colonies. We have loads of mini groups starting to pop up now. We have some up here in Siberia. As you can see, it's not going too well for them. Groups everywhere popping up and trying to take over and get their land, get independence, get some freedom. And yeah, that's exactly what's happening. They're unable to fight back. Going back to the Chinese populist civil war, where we see the Democrats make huge gains in the south of the country. However, we also see the populists make their own advance here, moving back into some of this territory. So it's even so far. The Democrats know they have to make a good move, and they build up their forces, and they launch a huge offensive, and they reach the border of the pink team, and the populous country wasn't expecting this, so they send their forces in to try and capture them, but it's too late, as now a barrage of forces comes flying into the back here before they can save them. And before they know it, they've been kicked out here. And instead, they turn into a new revolutionary group right here. Yeah, new revolutionary group. Led by the army, they inspire the people to get some kind of stuff like that. Take over all this land to become a new country here. The blue team, now with all of this land consolidated, starts to move back up into this. Sorry, I'm just fixing disgusting borders over here. 1 second. Starts to move back up into the populous country, and from here, it's pretty much certain what's going to happen. They have launch one large offensive towards the capital city, a big encirclement until eventually the leader is killed and the populist movement starts to collapse. They try to flee but get killed, and eventually they surrender to the democratic movement. Well, they're democratic for now, so yes, we have a new country here. They're going to get the purple color because they haven't had a purple team. So, yeah, a new country. Fantastic. And we'll also make this a new country. Anyway, back to the Central Asian Civil War. There's no way they're getting out of this alive. It's impossible now. As we see even more groups attempting to get their own sovereignty. Now with one popping up in this region here. We have a country popping up near the Aral Sea, or whatever remains of it, with the Amudarya, Surudarya, or whatever. And there's just more and more countries that are popping up, and it's like Central Asian country doesn't even know how many there are anymore, because there's so many. So basically, it's just gonna end up being the complete balkanization, but without maybe being enemies. And we even see one take over the capital city, and from here it's definitely it's too late. The reason also why they're not able to respond back is because the army in the certain locations is actually defecting to these rebellious groups. And yeah, there's nothing you can do from that point. The purple country is going to send their forces into this region. And they actually get a lot of land. I'm going to expand the yellow country a little bit in here. Nice. We're going to have a light orange country as well. What am I going to go for? Something like that, yes. And then it's too late for them. Their time has come. Even even the civil war spilling over into neighboring countries, spilling over now into Ukraine. We have and Ukraine is also not able to respond to this, but we have a country here forming as well in south central Russia. And we also have I'd say maybe one more final group popping up just north of these two countries here. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. Okay. And yeah, from here, we also see the green team get involved to just get some free land. because it's unoccupied, it's free. Why not? And they take roughly this amount of land. They also declare war on this Siberian country, two in one stone. I mean, their army's mobilized, right? And yeah, these guys were not capable of fighting this war. So yeah, they get captured, and both these territories get fully annexed. And yeah, we'll sort out the capital thing later. It's okay. We have a brown country popping up here. Very nice. That's what they've got. And we have a dark purple country forming in here. Awesome. Now the remnants of the Central Asian country are going to just try and sort out the land, really. We also see this really disgusting looking country trying to fix their borders because we all want it, right? Have some kind of less blobby features if that's possible. And yes, it looks like it is going to be possible, which is good. So they're able to expand into this region over here. They're also gonna see both of these guys expanding as well. Nice. The Persian country is going to also officially annex all of this land and start to move even more into Central Asia, going up into modern day Uzbekistan now. And with all that land in, they've decided to call it a day. And yeah, for the rest of this country, it's going to fall into anarchy, and we'll sort it out over the coming episodes and whatever. Because there's no way they can survive on their own, so they just collapse. And yeah, that's awesome. So that's too dark. We'll do. No, that could actually be. Let me just pick a color. There we go. They have collapsed. Yeah, wow, that was a very interesting start to the episode. The world is like, wow, we just lost that country pretty quickly. And yeah, some of these countries, they are quite big, so they are going to fragment a little bit. Like we have this Mesopotamian country being forced to spit out a southern Caucasian country. Something like that. They also expand. Yeah, there you go. Nice. And actually, we have quite a few land exchanges going on here. The pink team is going to end up taking out this entire western coastal region to get better access to the Black Sea. The red team is going to get a bit more land from this Caucasian country. Take this little blob here as well. And they also get to expand a bit further upwards. So yeah, nice. This is what we've got here. And yes, they're all going to get capitals, don't you worry. So yes, let's do it. I think these guys, we're going to put capital in this bay here. Your capital will be on this peninsula. It has to be, surely. Or, no, we'll put it in there. That's the capital. South Central. Your capital is gonna be a new one, founded right here. Your capital will go in here on the Euphrates or Tigris. Your capital goes in there. The the Turkmen country capital is gonna go here. Yeah. How are these? Oh, this is a new country. Okay, their capital's going here. Your capital is gonna go on Lake Balkash. These guys need a capital, so this one. Your capital is gonna go in here, in here, in here, right there. You're going in now. Your capital in here. Lovely. And now for the northern country here, who goes with a new capital as well. Awesome. Yeah, that was a very interesting start to the episode, but we have just lost the world's biggest country. And anarchy will slowly be sorted out. Don't you worry. Okay. Now, what do you think's gonna happen? Let's take a quick guess. I'm waiting. Still waiting. No? Nothing? Alright. We have a Middle Eastern empire because it's classic. Come on. Whoa. All of these Middle Eastern countries unite to form one mega one here with their capital in here. And the first thing I'm going to do is declare war on Greece. And now Greece is like, what? When they see all these troops in, but they're like, all right, let's do this then. But their forces are surprisingly well equipped. Anyway, continue advance. The Greeks were not expecting this, so their troops aren't in the region. Before they know it, the Arabs have reached the Dead Sea and move now into this bay, cutting off all these troops from Greece, and they can't quite reach it. Greek forces do eventually arrive though, so this front stalls, but they've captured all of this land before the Greeks can once again respond. And guess what's happening, everybody? Drum roll, please. Egypt! Hello. Egypt is spawned. Maybe. Actually, no. Egypt is going to be part of the Arab movement. And they're going to be able to take this entire coastline region, as well as now move into the Sinai Peninsula, up reaching roughly around here, before the Arabs also annexed all of this. So now they have expanded all the way up to here. Quite a large country, but they've done it. And now the Greeks are like, whoa, 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 slow down, slow down. But no, they're not slowing down. As they keep advancing, reaching now and taking some of the newly occupied land. And the Greeks are like, okay, fine, we stop. So the Greeks and Arabs make a peace deal. The Greeks are embarrassed, but they have lost, and they lose all of this land. Quite a big chunk of land. It's like half their country just gone. But the Arabs are happy. They've just expanded, and now they get to stay up as one for a while. They now move their capital to right here, because of course they've got some new land. So yeah, nice, fantastic. So yeah, interesting. is our European map. We haven't done anything in the Americas, but there's nothing really much to do, is there? Except France going on an expansionist conquest, which they always do in my videos for some reason. Even though, as an Englishman, not a French fan. But yeah, they immediately eradicate the Netherlands. Just a newly born country already eliminated. But they don't care. They don't give the slightest. Immediately, French settlers move into the region. And now we see the complete annexation of the Netherlands by France. Awesome. It's nice little land expansion for the French. And this colonialism is disgusting, so we'll sort it out soon, though. Don't you worry. Until we have a major war breaking out between two colonial European countries. Guess, take a guess. England and Spain. England declares war on Spain. Spain calls on the French for help, and they get just that. A major war has begun between the English Empire and the French and Spanish empires. Let's see how this goes. We're gonna start it on this episode anyway. The English, because they're declaring war, right? This has happened as a bunch of tension and stuff between them. Insults, hurling between the messengers, whatever. English forces in North America are able to swiftly move into the colony. The Spanish weren't ready for this, so they lose the entire thing. Right off the bat. Interesting. Now in South America, we also see a few small English advances just down here in this region. Also see on the border, but not much more. And we even see the Spanish forces moving upwards into English Brazil. Go away, fly. That's what we've got. There's our map currently. And we now see French forces who weren't expected to join. So they get the advantage. And they move up quickly into English Chile. Now there's a huge naval battle going on in the English Channel. I'd say the naval outlook probably something like that. So the English do have advantage over the city, and I'd say the Spanish are probably moving up here to try and assist the French, especially. So yeah, quite a big conflict, of course. If the English know they're going to have to bring, they can't fight this war on their own, so they bring a little old ally. Well, a surprising ally, but they bring the Algerian country in North Africa, who is more than ready for this war and wants to expand itself. Very fair. Their forces move quickly into Spanish Africa, capturing the capital and the south before they could respond. Once Spanish forces arrive, it's too late, as the sheer amount of soldiers is overwhelming for the Spanish. So they lose the colony. Spain is very annoyed by this, but what to do? Now this is our map. England knows they're going to have to make a naval landing. So once their navy is able to gain supremacy over this northern region, they still in ongoing fighting here, but they gain supremacy over the north. They build up forces near the capital city and on their coast to launch a naval invasion of France, and that it lands successfully, moving in from this region up here in the occupied Netherlands. This gains the local people's support, who join in the fight with arms supplied by the English. And soon, within just a short part, France now has a northern invasion to worry about. And the English have just broke through in Brittany as well. What? What was that? No. What was that? That was disgusting. Okay. And now the English land in Brittany as well, sending their forces in. France isn't quite capable of pushing back the northern one, but they are certainly able to pushing back the western one, and the English get completely kicked off the western part of France. France makes a small pushback over here, but other than that, it's still continued advancement by the English, who now capture the equivalent of Calais. The African country goes ahead and annexes all of this. Nice. And they prepare a naval invasion of Spain with the British. And they both agree to make the naval invasion. So British forces make the journey over here. They land in Galicia. African forces, Algerian forces land over here, and they're able to capture the south of the country. And now, once they gain complete traction over here, Spain isn't able to hold back with two massive armies coming in. So they're able to completely capture the rest of the country. And Spain is basically destroyed. Now England starts an advance into France from the south as well. Let me make that a different color. Is that the same color? Oh. Yeah, there you go. The English forces now move quickly into France from the south, get pretty close to the capital. And another naval invasion is made into Normandy. Connects up with the north. Soon France has lost their northern coastline, and now they begin to collapse. Here, as we even see the Algerian country sending their forces into this Catalan region up here. And now we see the Romans start an advance as well into the region. Okay, moving straight in to try and capture any remaining land, etc. And they're able to capture this land before the English capture the rest eventually. So yeah, both these countries are out. Let's have a look at a peace treaty. This is the end of the video as well, by the way. Here we are. Major changes to the world map. This is going to be one of the very big changes to the map. So like if you saw it before and after, you would be like, what happened in that episode? Exactly. Not everyone has changed, of course, but in Europe we see England annex all of northern Spain, France, and the Netherlands. Actually, they're going to release the Netherlands, but they're going to annex everything else. The Netherlands gets a nice big chunk of land here in Europe and becomes a English ally, which I'm very happy about. They get all of this land here in Europe. And they get Calais as well. They're also going to get a colony. I forgot to give them a colony. Let's give them a colony. Why not? So they get this. No. Yeah, they get this. They get this colony down here. So Dutch Africa. Fantastic. The Italians are going to annex this region here, France, as well as French Central Africa. England annexes all of this part of France here. Was this another country? Oh my, this is another country. Is it the exact same color? Oh. Uh-uh. Let's... Yeah, the Netherlands gets the West African colony as basically like a thank you for helping me fight. So, and they also get a lot of land here in Central Europe as long as they join the alliance, which they happily do. Italy annexes Gabon from France and all this land, and the British annex everything else, basically. We also see Poland getting given southern Madagascar because the UK doesn't really care about it, in exchange for the UK to get some more land here in mainland Africa, which the Poles are happy to do. And they're happy to exchange. Very cool. Yeah. So now let's give a capital to the new Dutch country, who are going to go with their capital to be right here. Awesome. Casually just eliminated two of the world's largest countries. But what to do, eh? Nice. We eliminated two European colonial countries. And now, yeah. So, in Europe, Italy, after this war, has a lot of internal instability again, and has a an uprising over here in this region here. Italy is unable to put it down, and they even reach the Alpine Mountains, where both sides agree to end the war. So yeah, another new country that I just made, but it's here, so you gotta respect it. Nice. Wait, that looks too similar. Oh, why do they all look the same? You silly. There you go. That's better. Here in Africa, we also see, after this, Italy wants to expand a bit more. This is the last event of the episode. So they send their forces in to do a mega invasion to take over both these two countries, which they do, and annex both of them. Awesome. Italy has now got one continuous colony throughout the whole thing. And to end the episode, we also see the Arab country go on another quest. They actually unify with this country down here, and now start an invasion of Mesopotamia. They send their forces in across from every single angle, moving up to capture the city, and goodbye. Lovely. So you know what it means. Full annexation. Nice. Sorry about that. It was kind of weird. Doesn't really. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like and subscribe because the map is very different. Goodbye.